start things off, okay? If you guys have not watched the episode, skip ahead, or if you want to be spoiled, that's your deal. But Martian freaking Manhunter, man, I am in utter shock. Not 100% surprised, but I'm really excited for this show now. Holy crap! Just this episode overall, I think, was one of the best of the season. It's funny because it's for the most part it was a filler episode, but there was obviously enough in there to make it a dynamic and emotionally impactful, as well as an entertaining episode. And for those of you guys who don't know, my name's Nick, and of course, welcome to my Supergirl episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Supergirl, titled "Human for a Day." And again, going back to what I was just saying, this was a really great episode, in my opinion. And this show, if any of you guys have been watching my videos for any number of weeks, I've been kind of on the fence the last couple of weeks about the show, and it's the tone and where they're going with the direction of the show. But now it's just things are starting to get things are getting going. Again, just a lot in this episode that I really enjoyed. Just getting started, the opening scene with Kara being tested on, and when it's been a few days since she lost her powers, and I love the fact that they explained her losing her powers by the fact she burnt him out when she was fighting Red Tornado last week. And something that they even said hey, that's something Superman goes through, he's done before. It lasts a couple days, because that's something we saw on Smallville so many damn times. We've seen it on Flash so many times already, and it's one of those things where it's all these superheroes, for any guy, any of these people have superpowers or whatever, they always have to episode they gotta go back to being normal for a day. Blah, blah, da, da, da. I've seen it. It's all been there, done that. For any of us who've been watching these shows long enough, But this episode was used. It started out being another cliche filler episode, but again, there's a lot in there that I really enjoyed. And again, that opening scene with the voiceover of Kara's mom, even though it is still the computer program, the AI. I still really enjoy that, and I still enjoy seeing that. I wish we saw more of that. Obviously, it's a lot of it's really similar to the whole Force of Solitude and Jor-El with Superman. So maybe they were trying to lean against using it, but I like seeing it. I really do. I loved seeing the dynamic of Kat and Winn in this episode, because obviously we know that Kat, for the most part, is very kind of not self-absorbed, but when it comes to the people she works with, she doesn't necessarily care too much. So the fact that she doesn't even know that Winn works for her, it's something that they've already addressed it before, and seeing them actually kind of work together in this episode, I thought was actually really funny. Not like ha funny, but I thought it was cute. I like the interaction. I wish there was more of that kind of stuff. I loved Alex stepping up when the DEO was dealing with that guy Jem. And it's been these shows. I'm glad they're not relying heavily on CGI for these alien creatures and stuff. And that okay, well, there are certain things that they should use CGI for. I think Red Tornado should have been a little more CGI and less looking like a human and looking ridiculous. But some of these aliens, yes, they're a little over the top, but I do like the more practical look or practical effects of these aliens, and makes them feel a little more real, a little more tangible. Even in the second or third episode when there was that guy the parasite mouth and it stretched out like that. Even obviously it's CGI, I enjoyed that because it was minimal CGI, and yet you still got the fact he's an alien, and that's all you really needed. And there are sometimes in some of these shows or movies or whatever, they throw in the CGI and create just a big CGI character just to throw as a CGI character, like the Star Wars prequel, the Star Wars prequels, big example of that. So I like the look of the alien so far. Yes, it was a cheesy alien. It was a character with a lot of depth. Come on. But the look itself, I actually kind of enjoyed. I like seeing it. I just like practical effects compared to just relying too heavily on CGI. The show has a budget. So I'd rather see it, even though if it looks a little cheesy. The show's cheesy, so I give it that. So I like the more practical look of these creatures and aliens. So I like that, and I like more and more that we're seeing a more hopeful side of Cat Grant. and seeing more to her character, and that there is more depth, and that she is becoming more and more a more lighthearted character that is there to she even in the whole earthquake quick situation, that she's stepping up and trying to be a light to the city and starting to even like putting Supergirl aside. She's trying to be like on her own, becoming more of a symbol of hope to the city, even though she is just a media mogul, that kind of thing. That she does care about the city, she does care about the people. She wants to spread the message of hope, and and keeping faith in your heroes, whether they're super or not. And I mean, yes, a little cheesy, and yes, that's kind of like the message of the episode, But at the same time, I'm really enjoying Cat Grant's development, because at first, again, if you guys have been watching my videos, you would know that I really didn't like Cat Grant at all the first few episodes, and now, like, week after week, I'm seeing more and more to her that I really, really enjoy. And I just love the characterization of her. And okay, so getting to the big thing again, the whole Martian Manhunter reveal. This is something that kind of going back to what I said earlier at the beginning of the video, that I'm not 100% surprised by, because that's been a big fan theory ever since the show started, ever since they first showed him with the red eyes. I mean, and it sucks for me because I was spoiled the episode, because I didn't watch the episode live. I was working, so I didn't catch the episode until I literally just finished it I would say 20 minutes ago, and I was spoiled by the whole Martian Manhunter thing, and it made me really, really mad, because I wish I would have not known going into it. But even then, it's just now that we know John Jones is in this show, which more than likely means Martian Manhunter is not going to be in the DC movie universe, or the DC extended universe, because DC, as much as even though that's all under the same banner of Warner Brothers, they are making an effort to make sure that whatever characters they're using in the movies, they aren't using in the TV shows. So the TV shows, is taking advantage of Green Arrow, Hawkgirl, Black Canary, Hawkman, now Martian Manhunter, Supergirl, all these characters that the movies aren't really using at the moment. So they're taking these characters. So, and seeing in the look of John Jones, yes, it was CGI. Yes, it was CGI, but the look was really, really badass. I mean, I gotta say, I love the look of John Jones, and I really hope he plays more of a part. And the actor who plays Hank Henshaw, which we now know is not Hank Henshaw, this was his best performance yet in the show, because we finally saw the vulnerability of him when he was explaining what was going on, when the actual Hank Henshaw and DEO were going after Martian Manhunter, and that he was explaining he was the last survivor of his race. It's like, okay, come on, like more and more and more, the fact that he's a Martian Manhunter, they did not make it subtle. Like, everyone knows, he would have red eyes, out of nowhere, and then he phased through the thing, through the bomb a couple episodes back, and they were, the showrunners were dropping some not so subtle hints that this version of Hank Henshaw is Martian Manhunter. And honestly, I think that's a better way to go with the character, because honestly, when I found out that Hank Henshaw was going to be in the show, I'm like, okay, whatever. But when I first heard that it was going to be played by an African American actor, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, I didn't think anything of it, but then once the show started and we started seeing that there's more to Hank, and that there's the whole red eyes thing, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, is he Cyborg Superman already? And I do kind of like the fact that they're not going with the Cyborg Superman storyline, mainly because Hank Henshaw, at least in this version of him, he doesn't look a thing like Superman, so they can't really make him a cyborg Superman. I mean they could, but I'm just saying look wise, because that was the whole purpose, at least I think, of Cyborg Superman in the comics, is that he's supposed to look like Superman. So at least at first he was. But anyways, back to the point. Martian Manhunter was a great reveal in this episode. Again, we all saw it coming. I mean, a lot of us did. We knew there's something going on with Hank. But now that we finally know, Kara's gonna find out in the next few episodes. I guarantee it. I would love to see Martian Manhunter and even Kara teaming up. And that's why I would love for these shows, Flash, Arrow, and all these to be in the same universe, so that we can have all these characters that can still interact and still basically have a version of the Justice League on TV. I mean, we basically do. We got pretty much every single member except the main Trinity. We even got Green Lantern cameos and Arrow. So but overall, again, this episode, A Human for a Day, Started out as a cliche episode, and yes, there's cliche stuff going on with, Kara and James. I mean, I love, again, going back to what I've said in past videos, I love the chemistry between Kara and James, and I liked how Lucy was not in this episode because she's been a problematic character to me, and that I haven't liked her portrayal so far. I feel like she's been kind of a waste of a character. So the fact that she wasn't in this episode, I actually kind of liked it. I mean, other than the cheesiness of the episode, which isn't a bad thing, that's like the only kind of bad thing, and that's just being nitpicky. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I think next week is the mid-season finale, so, I mean, they came on us pretty quick. I mean, the show's only been on for like a little over a month, so it came by real quick. So I think that's going to be it for me, guys. So yeah, if you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I do review Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow every week, Monday through Wednesday. At least, this is the last week I'm going to be doing that until the holidays are over and all these shows come back from the winter hiatus. So if you guys like what you see here, again, hit subscribe. I do multiple reviews, movies, trailers, TV shows, clearly. And then once this winter hiatus is over, I'm gonna be reviewing 4 shows. So it's gonna be Supergirl on Mondays, Flash on Tuesdays, Arrow on Wednesdays, and Legends of Tomorrow on Thursdays. So I'm gonna have a pretty packed schedule. And I got Star Wars coming up next week, which I'm really excited for. At least I think it's next week. Yeah, is it? Yeah. Next week is Star Wars. So I'll be reviewing that. If you guys want to check that out, and then when I upload it, I'll upload it the night of because I'm seeing Star Wars Force Awakens the night before. But anyways, I've been rambling long enough. So again, thanks guys for watching, and until next time, have a good one.